This is my little sister, Valerie, and I'm Jill's husband. Oh, no, you switched on me. This is my wife. This is my sister. They switched on me. We choose unity over division. We choose science over fiction. We choose truth over facts.
I would eliminate the capital gains tax. I would raise the capital gains tax. I'm coming directly to you for ask a quick favor. I commuted every single solitary day to Wilmington, Delaware, over 500 miles a day. 250 miles a day. I would see to it for immediately moving toward, we're in fact in a position now that if in fact we dealt with mitigation across the board, just what we did in the last administration and before, leading to a standard that we provide efficiency for appliances.
So I can hardly wait to debate him on stage. I want people to see me standing next to him and him standing next to me. We'll see who's sleepy.
Mr. Vice President, thank you. Thanks for your time. Please come back in less than 13 years, sir.
All right, Chuck. Thank you very much.
All right. It's Chris, but anyway.
Chris. I just did Chris. No, I just did Chuck. I tell you what, man, these are back to back. Anyway.
That saves billions of gallons of gasoline. I mean, billions of $2.3 billion worth of, $500 billion in savings and 2-point-something billion metric tons of CO2 going in the air.
Electric vehicles, in fact, the biggest problem is you can't stop to charge. We should have charging stations along every interstate highway in the country. You pay for it just like you did gasoline. But if you can do that with bicycles in town, and you can put a nickel. I'm serious.
We should make sure that we have no one going to jail for a drug offense. They go directly mandatory prison.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
I'm part of that Obama coalition. I come out of the black community in terms of my support. If you notice, I have more people supporting me in the black community that have announced for me because they know me. They know who I am. 3 former chairs of the Black Caucus, the only African-American woman that ever been elected to the United States Senate, a whole range of people.
No,
my point is
that's not true. The other one is here.
I said the first. I said the first African-American elected. First African.
Tomorrow's Superstar Tuesday, and I want to thank you all. I tell you what, I'm rushing ahead, aren't I?
4 more years of Donald Trump will go down as an aberration. Hard to overcome the damage he's done, but we can overcome it. 8 more years of Donald Trump will change America in a fundamental way. The America we know will no longer exist. Because we cannot get reelected. We cannot win this reelection. We can only re-elect Donald Trump.
Pick up your phones. Pick up your phone now. Send a text to the word United to the number 30330. Okay? That's United. 30330 or 303-330 or BOO. Anyway, you got it. It's on the back there.
If you agree with me, go to Joe 30330 and help me in this fight.
You may only get one shot, and your first issue that you're going to push, you get one shot that it may be the only thing you get passed. What is that first issue for your presidency?
The first thing I would do is make sure that we defeat Donald Trump.
Okay.
Period. I'm also the only guy that got assault weapons banned, and the number of clips in a gun banned. The fact of the matter is that what's happened is that we're in a situation now where there are so many people who are in jail and shouldn't be in jail. The whole means by which this should change is the whole model has to change. We should be talking about rehabilitation. Nobody should be in jail for a nonviolent crime.
You get a tax break for a racehorse. Why in God's name couldn't we provide an $8,000 tax credit for everybody who has child care costs? It would put 720 million women back in the workforce.
We bring social workers into homes of parents to help them deal with how to raise their children. It's not that they don't want to help, they don't know quite what to do. Play the radio. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night, the phone. Make sure the kids hear words. A kid coming from a very poor school, or a very poor background, will hear 4 million words fewer spoken by the time they get there. In my household, you could never, ever, 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 ever say, you get in a fight with somebody, you could never say anything about them that was true. You couldn't say if they were 300 pounds, you couldn't say you're fat. You couldn't say you're skinny. You shouldn't say you're short. But look, fat, look, here's the deal. Here's the deal. I'm prepared to say that I have a record of over 40 years and that I'm going to beat Joe Biden. No man has a right to raise a hand to a woman in anger other than in self-defense, and that's rarely ever occurs. And so we have to just change the culture, period, and keep punching at it and punching at it and punching at it. It will be a big, no, I really mean it. It's a gigantic issue. I'm ready on day one after more than 3 years in office. Why isn't Donald Trump ready? Mr. President, wake up.
How do you explain the performance in Iowa, and why should the voters believe that you can win the national election?
It's a good question. Number one, Iowa's a Democratic caucus. You ever been to a caucus? No, you haven't. You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier. You said you were, but now you got to be honest. I'm going to be honest with you. China is going to eat our lunch? Come on, man. They can't even figure out how to deal with the fact that they have this great division between the China Sea and the mountains in the east, in the west. You want to nominate a Democrat, a lifelong Democrat, a proud Democrat, an Biden-Obama Democrat. Join us.
It's a long way until November. We got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black. We have this notion that somehow if you're poor, you cannot do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Wealthy kids, black kids, Asian kids. No, I really mean it, but think how we think about it.
Yesterday, you said you accepted Bernie's apology, and now you're attacking him. Why are you doing that?
Go.
Why wasn't his apology enough, Mr. Vice President? Why attack Sanders?
Why? Oh, you're getting nervous, man. Just calm down. It's okay. There are probably anywhere from 10 to 15% of the people out there that are just not very good people. We hold these truths to be self-evident. Sounds corny. Not a joke. Think about it. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing. 150 million people have been killed since 2007 when Bernie voted to exempt the gun manufacturers from liability. More than all the wars, including Vietnam, from that point on. And I tell you what, I'm so darn proud. And those poor people who have lost, anyway.